We finally have an update on that meeting regarding the infrastructure package and how we are going to proceed. Are we going to have bipartisan support, or is it going to be budget reconciliation? Let's talk through it. Welcome, everybody. Hey, thanks so much for being part of this community. I absolutely love reading through all your comments and seeing all of you here on this channel. Thank you for being here. It's an awesome place to be. And as I always say, I am your daily advocate, and I truly just want to be here every single day to help you out through this incredibly confusing time and to make sure that you're getting all of the benefits and money that you're possibly eligible to receive. If you happen to be new here, or if you haven't done so already, please make sure to hit the subscribe button right down below the video, and I promise you I will continue to be here for you, walking you through all of these latest updates as we get them each and every day. Let's talk through it. So, as we know, that small group of Republican senators was going to be meeting with administration officials to discuss the counteroffer for the infrastructure package. Well, they ended up meeting yesterday. If you saw my videos from yesterday, I came out yesterday evening and said, hey, they're supposed to be meeting today. I haven't seen a word yet, but I'll get you an update when I get that information. Well, I actually saw the new update this morning. However, I had some other newer information that was even better, as you saw in my morning video, talking about the House Ways and Means Committee, those 6 people coming out with their letter to President Biden calling on recurring stimulus checks. Yeah, so I thought that was way more important, and I wanted to bring that to you right away versus an update on the infrastructure package, which isn't all that exciting, but either way, this could lay the groundwork for the next, the second portion of the infrastructure package, which is the American Families Plan, and of course, those second, or I should say, the recurring stimulus checks and the fourth stimulus check, right? So anyway, let's talk through this a little bit further. They met yesterday, right? These groups, the small group of Republican senators and the administration officials. They met and they talked about it. However, they're having a little bit of an issue. Can you guess what it is? They're still having a hard time identifying the word infrastructure. Yes, this is a real thing. It is true. They are having a hard time defining what would fall within the parameters of what they identify as infrastructure. Now, Republicans have their definition of infrastructure, and of course, Democrats have their definition of infrastructure. Of course, apparently they are not congruent, therefore there is a little bit of a discrepancy as far as how they're going to move forward. If they can't agree on what the definition is and what they're going to include, it's kind of hard to move forward then, right? So either way, they have not come up with a deal yet. They have not decided to come together and work on a bipartisan basis, but rather the White House is going to get back to Republicans later this week to see how they can potentially move forward. So they have not decided on a top line number either. Remember this the other day? We talked about Mitch McConnell came out and said that they'd be willing to go up to $800 billion. Well, even with all these discussions and meetings and counteroffers and things like this, they have still not come up with a top-line number. In other words, they don't know how much it's going to cost. That's what the top-line number would be. So they don't know if it's going to be $600 billion, $800 billion, $1 trillion, $1.5 trillion. They have no clue. They have no number on that yet. However, to mix things up a little bit and to add a little more drama, as Congress always likes to do, politicians basically, what they are doing, Republicans in the House of Representatives are going to be introducing their own $400 billion proposal this week focused on infrastructure and transportation. Now, I just want to make it very clear, I'm not taking sides at all. I'm just saying it's literally politics. They all do it regardless of sides. They like to stir the pot and, poke the bear, essentially, if you know what I mean. They like to poke at each other and kind of irritate each other as much as they can. Well, they're coming up with this $400 billion proposal. I'm not sure why. I'm just being real with you. I'm not really sure why. If a $600 billion or $800 billion didn't do the trick, why would a $400 billion do the trick? I mean, seriously, just save the paper and the resources and the time. I mean, I don't know. But maybe they have something up their sleeve. Maybe they're going to come together with the Republican senators and say, hey, let's mix these together and say, let's come up with $1 trillion or something. I'm not really sure. At the same time, Democrats continue to eye the budget reconciliation. They're looking at it, and it's very, very likely that they're probably just going to do this thing with budget reconciliation. Considering that talks are basically going nowhere between both sides, Democrats are probably just going to think, hey, forget it. we're just moving forward with this thing. We're going to do it by ourselves, leave you guys, and who knows? We'll just move this thing forward by ourselves. At the same time, Nancy Pelosi continues to look at July 4th as a potential date where she wants this thing passed. It's not that far away. So, pretty interesting. I mean, basically, they've done nothing. I mean, both sides. It's not either one side or the other. I mean, both sides, they basically haven't come together at all. But either way, we'll continue to watch that, and I will keep you posted. However, remember that pipeline over on the East Coast that was closed down, what was it, a few days ago, last week or something, the end of last week and over the weekend, because of the hackers? Well, the CEO, or I should say, the pipeline that was actually closed down, they paid the hackers, you want to guess? Maybe you saw this, a bunch of money, $4.4 million to get their pipeline back up in operation. I mean, realistically, that's probably not much money for them, but could you even imagine paying hackers, people that just hack into your account and basically hold your accounts and say, hey, you need to pay this, otherwise we're not going to give it up? $4.4 million? I mean, for a large corporation like that, it probably wasn't a whole lot, but I don't know. Just the principle behind it, when I saw that number, I thought, man, that's a lot of money just to give to somebody because they hacked your system. I don't know. I don't like that. But either way, that's what happened. And as of today, crypto and the stock market are getting thrown around a little bit. There's some volatility in the markets around, which is putting a little bit of fear in the markets right now. Everybody's saying that it's all due to inflation and the risks of inflation. Well, yeah, I mean, who isn't worried about inflation right now? Seriously. I mean, we saw the last numbers, the last CPI numbers that came out, what was that, about a week ago or so we talked about that? It came out and inflation in the month of April was almost 1%. That's a huge jump. 1% in a single month, actually it was 0.8%, but either way, 0.8%, that is a ton over the course of 1 month. And yeah, people should certainly be worried about inflation right now as prices continue to rise. I mean, at this point, we need to continue looking at this and saying, when is it going to end? Seriously, everybody's feeling the pinch right now. What are we going to do about this? We cannot continue to have prices rising at a 1% or even 0.8% pace month over month. That's really going to start hitting all of these lower income people, especially those of you that I talk about here on the channel living on a small fixed income. So yeah, everybody's got to be worried about inflation at this point. So who knows? Maybe the Fed will come in and start doing something, maybe start tightening up some rates or something like that, jacking up some rates. Yeah, if you think the market is volatile now, watch until when they do that, and certainly the market will get even more volatile. But either way, it's pretty interesting stuff. I just wanted to give you a quick update with everything going on. I told you I would bring you an update on that infrastructure package and everything going on with it as far as the negotiations and where we stand with these counter proposals and everything else going on. As of right now, basically nothing. But regardless of whether they do something now or when, Nancy Pelosi still wants this thing done by July 4th. So basically, they're just kind of milking out the clock and just running this thing down. And if they still want to get it done by then, it just means they need to work a little bit faster. So it's going to be good. We're going to find something out here, and it's so awesome to see these other people out of the House and Ways and Means Committee, like I talked about this morning in my video, writing that letter. This is now letter number 3 going to President Biden, calling on him for recurring stimulus checks. So for all the people out there saying, oh, there's not going to be a 4th one, man, seriously, the evidence continues to stack higher and higher almost on a daily basis for all these people coming out calling on a 4th stimulus check and even recurring stimulus checks. I honestly feel like it's inevitable. Seriously, I'm really feeling that way, that another stimulus check, at a minimum, a 4th stimulus check and or recurring monthly payments are like getting to be to the point where it's almost inevitable. But of course, we can't say that because it's not a guarantee yet, but man, it's stacking up real quick here. Either way, I'll keep you posted. Please make sure to hit that subscribe button right down below the video if you haven't done so already, and check out any of my other videos here on the channel, and I will continue to keep you updated with everything going on. Thanks, everybody. I'm here to help you. Just remember, I am your one and only daily advocate right here on YouTube. Thanks again. I'll catch you later, and thank you.